If you're training by yourself or working with a coach, one thing is extremely important: structure. Have you ever seen a railway timetable? Every train has a fixed time, station, and route. In the same way, an athlete's workout plan should also be structured and well planned. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today: how you can design a solid weekly workout without any confusion. Now, a lot of people just pick some chart from the internet: legs on Monday, push on Tuesday, rest on Wednesday. But it's important to ask, does that chart actually reflect your specific goal? That's why today we're going to discuss a method where you'll be able to decide for yourself what to train on which day and how. Let's say your goal for this week is to improve power. Then the first thing you need is clarity about which day to train power. Let's take Tuesday morning as an example. Now, how do we build the full session for that day? Let's break it down step by step. Step 1, training focus. Before every session, it should be clear what the focus of that day is: strength, power, speed, coordination, or agility. Tuesday's session is for power, so our first step is clear. Training goal equals power. Step 2, exercise selection. Now the question is, which exercises are best for power? There are a lot of exercises available, but you don't need to do everything. You need to make smart selections. For me, the most effective exercises for power are: 1, power clean; 2, snatch; 3, plate smash. You can also add movements like hip thrust, squat jump, or push press, depending on your needs. But remember, selection means choosing wisely, not picking up everything you see. Step 3, exercise order. Now that the exercises are decided, the next step is setting their order. Which one should be done first and which one later? The logic is that the most technical or most explosive movement, like clean or snatch, should be done first when the body is fresh. After that, you can move to auxiliary or supportive movements. How to build the right structure for workout order. The workout order was already properly set. We should start with the clean, then move to the snatch, and then go to split net-based drills. Compound lifts like the clean and snatch are more important than splits because they directly develop pure strength and power. That's why the most critical movements should always be done at the beginning of the workout, especially for jumpers. But if someone is a thrower, it's better to place the snatch at the beginning too, because throwers need both strength and speed at the same time. The order of exercises always depends on your goal. The sequence should be based on which movement you want to improve. A smart way to focus on weaknesses. If an athlete has been training for 3 months and is confident in the clean but struggles with the snatch, then the snatch should be placed at the beginning of the workout. That's because in the beginning of a workout, both the mind and nervous system are fresh. Focus and concentration are at their peak. If you train your weaker movement at the start, the chances of improving it go up significantly. This is what smart training really means: not just maintaining your strengths, but giving priority to your weak areas. Scientific use of intensity. Intensity means how much load you're using while performing an exercise. We measure this using percent of 1 RM, 1 rep max. 1 rep max means the maximum weight you can lift in a single rep for that exercise. If an athlete's clean 1 RM is 100 kilograms and they do 5 reps with 80 kilograms, then they're training at 80% intensity. You need to use intensity smartly. At the beginning of the season, intensity is kept low, around 60%, but as the competition gets closer, intensity gradually increases, up to around 90%. An athlete should test their 1 RM at least once a month so that the next phase of planning can be done scientifically. Volume, the total impact of load. Volume means how many total reps you're doing for any movement. The simple formula is volume equals sets has reps. If you do 3 sets of 5 reps, the total volume equals 15 reps. Volume changes in different phases of the season. In the off season, when the recovery window is longer, higher volume is used, like 5 times 6 equals 30. As competition approaches, volume is reduced so the nervous system stays fresh, like 3 times 2 equals 6. Proper control over volume plays a big role in injury prevention too. Frequency, how many times power work happens in a week. Frequency tells you how many times a particular workout is being done, whether it's in daily sessions or part of a weekly plan. Power workouts are usually scheduled once or twice a week so that both recovery and nervous adaptation happen properly. It's important to maintain balance. Doing it too often can lead to burnout, and doing it too little can stop progress. Frequency always depends on the training block, recovery strategy, and the athlete's individual response. Frequency, how many times should you train the same quality in a week? So far, we've been doing power workouts once a week, but if you train power on both Tuesday and Friday, the frequency becomes twice a week. You should train the same quality, like power, speed, or strength, a maximum of 3 times a week, no more than that. For example, speed workouts, doing them up to 3 times a week is fine, like Mon Wed Fry, but doing them more than that can push the body into overload. Managing frequency is important because it defines how often your muscles are under stress and how often they're getting recovered. Recovery, 3 types of rest. Every athlete should understand. Recovery is not just rest, it's an entire science. It happens at 3 levels. 1, interset recovery. This is the rest you take between sets, like after doing a set of 3 reps, how long you rest before the next one. In power and sprint training, interset rest should be longer so the nervous system can fully recharge. If you're a sprinter or jumper, then at least 2 to 5 minutes of rest between sets is essential. Otherwise, the next set will be poorly performed. Quick back-to-back sets only increase fatigue, not power. 2, intra-exercise recovery. This is the rest between 2 different exercises. For example, after doing cleans and before doing snatches. This rest varies based on movement complexity and nervous system load. A bit of extra recovery between heavy or technical lifts helps the body get ready for the next performance. Post-session recovery. How much rest your body needs after a workout determines the quality of the next session. Example, if you did a high-intensity power workout on Tuesday morning, leave a minimum 48-hour gap before the next session. Managing the recovery window scientifically helps prevent injury and sustain performance. Tempo, training the speed of movement scientifically. Tempo means the exact speed at which you perform a movement. Every lift is divided into 3 phases. 1, eccentric, going down. 2, isometric, holding. 3, concentric. If the tempo is written as 3-2-2, it means go down in 3 seconds, centric, hold for 2 seconds, isometric, come up in 2 seconds, concentric. Now, tempo can also be customized as per the need. For example, 3-2x, here x means the concentric phase should be as fast as possible. If you don't want to hold, the tempo could be 3-0x, meaning go down in 3 seconds and explode up immediately without pausing. Faster concentric action equals higher power output, because this is the phase where your real intent and neural drive are visible. Mastering tempo is essential in power training because it directly defines how explosive your movement becomes. 1, force development and reactive strength. When force is developed, speed also improves. But if the entry is made slower, it increases reactive strength, helping the body learn how to absorb shock. Many athletes do squats well, but struggle with shock absorption during hopping or bounding. The reason is lack of reactive strength. 2, velocity versus tempo, the rhythm of every exercise. Velocity means how fast you're performing the movement, like how quickly you're lifting the barbell during a clean. Tempo shows the control and flow of that movement, which makes every rep intentional and purposeful. 3, duration, how long you perform an exercise. For example, in a plank, you can't measure percent of 1 RM, so duration becomes the key measurement. That's why it's important to know how long your workout is going to last, and you should plan that in advance. Cueing, the most subtle way to fix technique. Internal cues, like during a clean, telling the athlete to bring the bar close to the chest. If the athlete doesn't understand this, we give an alternative cue. Drive your elbows up, which naturally brings the bar close to the chest. External cues, like during a squat, if the neck drops down, tell the athlete, keep looking at the quote written on the wall in front of you. This automatically corrects their posture. Cueing is a system that refines an athlete's performance without causing overthinking. 5, assessment, turning every improvement into proof. A workout plan isn't truly effective until it's monitored. You should test yourself weekly, monthly, or bi-weekly. Record your maximum weight for each exercise. Check your 1 RM, 1 rep max every month. The benefit of this is that you'll have personal progress data, which will make your training more focused and sharper. 6, final words. Planning is everything. Creating a workout plan isn't easy. It requires deep understanding. This very plan is what takes an athlete to the next level of performance. If someone finds it difficult to understand, they should take guidance from a coach.